Circulatory system is very important in distributing blood, nutrients, and oxygen to the body and body systems, as well as the cells that comprise of these body systems. Without the heart forcing blood through the blood vessels throughout the body, there'd be no circulation. These three components are very responsive in maintaining homeostasis and blood pressure. The pump can increase in rate as well as strength of each contraction. It can also slow down and increase the volume that's being injected, or stroke volume. Blood vessels are responsive by either dilating or constricting. This allows them to regulate as well our blood pressure. The volume itself, or blood, is important as it carries oxygen and nutrients to the cells. Now, blood also has other components of it. It's listed here on the slide. You can see what also stimulates blood vessel contraction, dilation, and constriction, as well as other forces on the heart, such as norepinephrine, epinephrine, and potentially other autonomic nervous system forces, such as acetylcholine and parasympathetic side to slow heart rate down. Now, as we see blood being circulated throughout the body, it's also important that it's oxygenated. So as it returns to the heart, it then goes into the pulmonary vasculature, and during this time across the venules and capillaries and back in through the arterioles, this blood is then reoxygenated. Again, blood leaves the right ventricle out through the pulmonary artery, throughout the pulmonary vasculature to the capillary bed, where gases exchange oxygen for carbon dioxide. This is called external respiration, where the red blood cell delivers the carbon dioxide and replenishes its oxygen stores. Blood then returns back through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium, then through the mitral valve to the left ventricle, and then out through the aortic valve and aorta, and out to the rest of the body. But blood pressure is much more regulated than just the pump, the blood vessels, and the fluid or blood. We have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, all in some type of check. Sympathetic nervous system is the result for a fight or flight response. It causes a release of adrenaline, which comes from the adrenal gland. These hormones there are called norepinephrine and epinephrine. And they stimulate these alpha and beta receptor sites. And at target organs, such as the heart, this beta 1 receptor causes the heart to beat faster, stronger, and increases its ability to take electrical impulses. Adrenal glands also secrete another hormone through the norepinephrine. It's an alpha 1 receptor, and this alpha 1 works on the blood vessels, causing them to constrict, thereby decreasing the size of our blood vessels or container, allowing blood flow or volume to then increase. We also have additional hormones from the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and then the kidney from the adrenal gland again. And these chemicals and hormones that are secreted in states of shock or just normal homeostasis regulate salt as well as fluid retention or excretion. When we excrete fluid or water through our kidneys, in a production of urine, we decrease our blood pressure. But by holding on to water as well as salt or sodium, we can increase our blood pressure. Our circulating blood volume is close to, depending on the textbook that you use, somewhere in between 5 to 8 liters. The heart, when we talk about its cardiac output, is a stroke volume, the amount that is ejected out from the left ventricle in one contraction. We multiply this by the number of contractions that the heart has, or heart rate. This would be a total, and this would be considered our cardiac output. Again, sympathetic nervous system can cause the constriction of these blood vessels, lessening the container size, increasing the volume. So in this slide, I'm trying to show you that we have maybe about 7 liters, and if we constrict the container size, the volume supersedes the container, and we have a lot more volume, thereby increasing our blood pressure. On the opposite side of the slide, we have dilation of this container, and then we can see that, geez, it's somewhat dilated, that potentially the blood pressure could be in a lower state. And some of these things that cause dilation could be related to spinal cord injury.